Today I'm going to paint a body. This body. It's a 69 Nova we're going to paint for my drag car, which is sitting right over here, because I don't really want to tear this body up too much. It's too nice. Too much work went into it, and yeah, I don't want to tear it. I don't want to tear it up that much. So we're going to paint a new body for it. This one's pretty nice. It's like I said, it's a 1969 Nova body. We'll time lapse most of it, see how well it looks. Fuck it. So first thing we got to do is we got to cut it all out. I'm just going to time lapse most of it, and if there's something important, I will add in a little segment. But yeah, most of it's just going to be time lapse. Alright, so run into a small problem with this. And because this is not a Traxxas Slash car, and this body is designed for Slash, we're running into an issue where our wheel wells are not really matching up too well with the wheels. We're going to rub here, and probably going to rub on these edges. So before I drill my body posts, we're going to have to widen up the rears and make some adjustments. I mean, we're going to have to figure out some way of making this work. This is as deep of an offset as I can get on these tires, and the other tires that I want to use are a even further in offset. This is the most shallow that I could find, and these are for a crawler. So it'll be quite interesting to see how this pans out. We're gonna have to cut the wheel wells up a bit more to make it fit. But I think in the end, the overall look of this car will be pretty good. We also have to account for the travel of the suspension. The little that there is, but there is some. Time. I've decided what we're going to do for the color. We're going to do a blue color. Kind of like a dark blue. I really like dark blue. I also printed out all of my decals we're going to cut into the windows. Most of the paint, most of the airbrush, the heavy duty airbrushing paint is going to be done on these at the end, I think. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to stay away from the windows as much as possible. There's some that's going to be done here and some down here. So most of this is going to get painted now, and then we'll let it dry. And once it's dried, it'll get the decals cut into it. So I think that's going to be the best course of action for this thing. So we'll just time lapse everything that happens and put music and shit over that, I guess. All right. Alright, so we got most of it painted up. I went with a few different colors of blue to see if we could get something interesting out of it. We're going to let this dry, and then I will cut out the window decals that we're going to be putting in. All these. Well, not that one there, but, well, parts of those ones. That one will be going on the windshield. We'll be having some of these others placed on the rear window. Try to make it more look like a scale dragster. So we'll go with those. And then it will also end up putting some of these on as well, but not a whole lot of these. Probably most of the scaling decals. All these proline ones will probably stay off. But stuff like all of these little details here will go on. Stuff like that. So hopefully it'll turn out pretty good. I think it will. I think it's looking pretty decent so far. So we'll let this dry overnight and then come back to it tomorrow. Cut out the decals and start painting up the rest of it. Alright, so far this is kind of how it works when you paint bodies. Small decals and details to try to paint on can become too difficult. I had a Hoosier sticker that I was going, or Hoosier decal I was going to paint on, and I couldn't see it too well through the mask, so I said, fuck it, we're not going to do it. That's really unfortunately how some of these things end up. So we ended up, we're just going to run with this decal, the Thunderhorse decal, Chevy decal, and we'll see how it works. Yeah, gonna let this dry up a little bit and then we'll come back and finish off the rest of it. Alright, it is done. Well, to the best it's gonna be. I think it turned out pretty good. It's got a kind of like a midnight blue look to it. It doesn't look half bad while it's painted up. I'm gonna put some license plates in here in a few. And yeah, I mean, that's not half bad looking. I like it. Granted, this is a body that was never designed to fit on this particular chassis, but I think in the end it turned out pretty damn good. So yeah, that has been the painting video. Kind of like a little mini build or whatever you want to call it.